is Brett Owens from Chrometa, our CEO and co-founder. Going to take you through a 10-minute demo here of Chrometa. So I'm going to show you how we are capturing and categorizing your time across all of your devices. So in my particular case here, what we're going to look at is time captured on my Mac, actually this morning so far, and from my Android phone as well. So we'll talk about, I'll go over my computer and my phone. Everything I'm showing you also applies to PCs and to iPhones as well. So we'll talk to kind of the nuances on those. What we're looking at here is literally my time captured for this morning. So starting out on the West Coast, you can see I started out with some text, phone calls on my mobile phone, and then get in the office a little after 8:30. So that's where the timing starts on my computer. So we're literally capturing time down to the minute. We're looking at what were you working on within that minute, and then what are the details associated with that. So for example, on an email, we're going to get, we're going to roll that all up then into the total amount of time. So for an email, what we're going to get is the subject line of that email, and then the to and the from, so we can later create time entries from these. For documents, such as Microsoft Word or any file you're working with on your computer, we're going to get the application that you're working within, and then the details associated there. So in the case of Microsoft Word, we're going to get the title of that document. Same for Microsoft Excel. Same for any document that you're working on your computer. And then for your smartphone, what we will do is capture, in my Android's case, the phone number along with the Google contact info. On iPhone, a little different. We're going direct through the carrier to get the phone call and the text message. So in those cases, we're going to just get the phone number since we're hooking up with Verizon or AT&T or Sprint or Vodafone or whatever you have directly there. So I showed you the play-by-play. So what we're essentially doing is rolling up this time then into the total amount of time. So this email, I spent a total of 5 minutes on. It could have been in little chunks. So if I'm reading it 1 minute and then replying back, and then maybe I jump to something else, I jump back to the email. This is the total amount of time that I spent on this email. So now I can categorize it to a client and project just by pulling up my Move to Project drop down. From here, I'm going to be able to do a quick little auto search. So I can say, for example, if I want to throw it under my client Betty Arthur here, I can put it to this project, and then I can either just hit return or enter or click left click to assign it to that project, or I can do some other things while I'm assigning it. So one thing that is popular to do while we're assigning it is make an annotation. The annotation is what's going to show up on your timesheet. So in Chrometa speak, we're basically capturing kind of like the computer time entry, so kind of the computer lingo. So the title of the document as it is on the computer, the subject line of the email with the to and the from, or we're pulling from the phone. So that's kind of like the computer speak. Here's where we translate it to plain English. This is what's going to show up on the timesheet, and then perhaps later an invoice. So this is where I can create an annotation, and then I can say I was doing something with Kevin here. I will save. And then what we're doing is we're moving our entry from our unbilled time at the top of our screen down to our timesheet. We're also applying our rounding setting. So we've got this rounding setting baked in beneath. So we are rounding this up, in my case, to the 6-minute increment. As you see, we've got some options here for you. And this is now where we're going to build out our timesheet. So we can continue to move entries from our unbilled time down to our timesheet. We can either do that one at a time, or you can even create a rule that will do this every time. So to create a rule that does this every time, we're going to hit the second mouse over button here. And what we're doing now is we are taking a keyword. So for example, you could say that every time you email with me, or every time you email with someone in our company, you could say, I always want to move it to this client, this project. You can also apply this rule to the path, so that what we'll do is search through your time entries. When we see a match, we'll then go ahead and automatically assign that. We've got a little preview button here. This is a new feature so that you can see everything that would potentially be categorized with this rule. And then you can hit categorize and create the rule. So what we're doing is we're creating the rule, and then we're also categorizing our info here. Let me jump back to all my devices. Okay, and then, so we've got the time entry here categorized, not yet annotated, so we can, again, use the annotation button to add an annotation to this time entry here. So we always keep the original computer time within that time entry. What we're doing with the annotation is we're just, again, giving it a plain English name and rounding it up. Now from here, once we got our timesheet compiled, where's our time going from here? So this is where you may have different things that you want to do with your timesheet, so let me kind of walk you through the options. One is that you can just come out with a printable version. That's going to be the little print button. You can export it out to something like Microsoft Excel, or you can also export it to a third-party system that we integrate with. So if I send it over, for example, to Clio, or QuickBooks Online, or FreshBooks, what we're going to do is we're going to send these time entries over as if they were created directly in that system. So if I send this time entry over to Clio or directly over to FreshBooks, it's going to look as if it was a time entry created there. The annotation is going to be the description. The rounding setting will be applied. So in this case, we're going to get 6-minute entries that are going to appear over on that side. Let me show you the partners that we currently integrate with so that you can get a look on that. In the practice management legal world, we have hookups with Clio, LexisNexis products, which include Time Matters, PC Law. Time Matters today, PC Law Juris coming very soon. Tabs 3, Rocket Matter, along with time slips. And we actually do have a CSV export to PC Law that's available today. In the accounting world, the big 3 Zero FreshBooks, and then the QuickBooks products, and then a few project management options here with Smartsheet coming soon on that side as well. Okay, so that's kind of the flow. Let's walk through the nuances. So let's talk mobile, since that's a popular question. On the mobile side, again, I showed you my Android time is captured directly from our Android app. For iPhone, we do have an iPhone app as well. To get tracking going on your various devices, what you'll do is start at this page here, and then this is where you can install on your PC, on your Mac, or get our Android app, also get our iPhone app here. For iPhone, there's an additional step to hook it up with your carrier, so let us know. We can, if you'd like instructions on that, we can provide you with those. So I got a couple minutes left, so let me give you a few shortcuts here in terms of tips and tricks. From the timeline, we got some new tricks up our sleeve actually here, where we can assign blocks of time and kind of combine them up. So for example, let's take the 8 o'clock hour. If I want to create this, assign this all to one time entry, there's a few ways I can do it. One is I can select everything either for the whole block, or I can select one entry, hold down the shift key while I left click here, selects everything in between. What I can say is I want to move it to a project, and then give it an annotation. What this is going to do is basically combine all of this time into one entry. I can still back it out, but if this was all the same thing, this is a way to capture, sweep all those time entries under one entry. Another new way we have to do this is with our little ticker up at the top. So what you can actually do, you can see as I drag the slider, it's automatically selecting the entries for me. And then I can actually group all of these if I would like. So I can say I want to group all of these, give it an annotation. Demo, I'll call it a demo time entry. So I'm going to group them all. And then that grouped all of those entries, as you can see, into one right here. From here, I now have that demo time entry that I can do the same thing. I can assign it to a project client matter. So that's a new option. That's a little shortcut that we've got here. Our rules I showed you, but let's go over those one more time. You can get direct to our rules tab over on the left. If you want to create a rule, this is where you're going to be able to create a keyword from scratch. So just type in a keyword. Again, this could be something that's going to be located in your file name or something located in an email address. And then we say we want to move this to something every time, and that's where we're going to move that time entry over. Okay, so that was 10 minutes as promised. I'm happy to get into questions if you have them. I'll flip over to our contact screen so you can see how to get a hold of us while I check and see if we got any questions typed in here. extra step for connecting the iPhone besides downloading the app and signing in? Thanks for asking. So let me send you the extra step. If you're interested in phone calls, is going to be to connect up with our carriers. So here's going to be the instructions for AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint. Okay, are we coming up with a plugin for Gmail or Safari? So we already have a plugin for Gmail. That's going to be located in the Google Chrome store. So if you go ahead and download that you're going to find that for Chrome for Gmail. For Safari, it's something we're happy to look at. I would encourage you, if you have not already, to submit a feature request down here. This is our feature request forum, and as you can see, what we like to do. So everyone is, all users can submit requests here. You can also vote up requests that you like. What you'll notice here is that the requests that get voted up are the ones that, of course, tend to get done. So this is what we use to determine our product roadmap. So I would encourage you to submit that here if you're not already. And then as you know, we see stuff being popular, this is where we're going to go ahead and kind of gear our product development from. And I'll send this out to everyone here in the chat window. Okay, so looks like that's it for questions. So here's our contact info. So we do support 6 days a week. Starts on Sunday, goes through Friday, includes holidays as well. So during summer, you still be able to get a hold of everyone Sunday through Friday, phone, live chat, support. I'm sure you've seen live chat within Chrometa itself, but that is going to be in the, let me get back to actually the app. Lower right, you can start a live chat. You got any quick hits questions as you go through. Otherwise, thanks for joining. You'll get an email from me. About an hour or two, it'll have a recording so you can go through at your own pace if you'd like. Any emails you got, though, those are going back to me, so if there's anything I can circle back with you on, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for joining, and have a great rest of your Wednesday, everyone.